What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Trackman87 for coming through and replenishing your man, the YB's gambling funds. You best believe it, no doubt about it. So, Carl the Cobra airs out Tommy Fury and tells the masses, Tommy, I'll have a go on your pretty looking ass, that's for sure. Did he? Here we go. Bash. He also has some funny bars, to be fair, on this dude here, the manlet. 5'3" manlet, Anthony Taylor. He fought hard though, to be fair to him. He got punched up, but he did fight hard. Did more than Tommy did. Tommy shit himself. He didn't want none of the squabbles with Darren Till. Yeah?
It was a fucking crap fight, wasn't it? It was Terry fought a midget, guy off his size, apparently from America, who's not a bad fighter. It was absolutely rubbish. I was actually offered the fight with Darren Till. Mums Taylor phoned me up and said to me, look, I'll offer you the fight. One bad little bit of bunts, really. And I thought to myself, I need at least 4 weeks in the gym, and it was over
I bet it wasn't as good as that turkey bunts, Carl. That turkey bunts hit different, man. Stop playing.
Christmas, and I'm busy with the family. I go away, I've been skiing, I've been travelling around, I've been doing a lot, and I thought, I'm only going to have a week, actually, from being back on UK soil to actually getting in the ring. And I thought, 1 week's probably not enough, even for the Cobra, the former unified world champ Hall of Famer, to go in there and bash up somebody who can't fight in the boxing ring like Darren Till. He might be decent in the MMA world, I don't know.
To be fair though, you know, it's funny watching this, yeah. These fighters, you have to have it, I think. You have to have this, what do you call it? When you're just bang on it. You have to have a proper belief in yourself. The fact he was thinking about going in there with Darren Till in a week. I'm sorry, Carl at 50 wouldn't have done nothing with Darren Till in a week. He'd be gassed after a round or two. Don't matter how good you are, yeah. You can be the best artist, man. Obviously it helps if you've got a bunch of experience. But if you've been out the ring 10 years, a week ain't enough. Bottom line. I would not bet on Carl beating Darren Till or Tommy with a week training if they've had a full camp. It doesn't work like that. You can know as much as you want. When that gas tank runs out, which it would inevitably, Darren Till's a trained man. Tommy, as much as I don't like him, he can faff around and run around the place. I don't know, actually. Tommy stunk the place out with KSI. That was a proper stinker. I don't know about Tommy, but Darren Till, an experienced, hard fighting man. I wouldn't back Carl to beat Darren Till in a week. Tommy, you just have to get on him. You just walk into Tommy and his back end will flap off. He flapped off against 150-pound KSI, who was just jumping around like a ballerina, man. So I take it back. But yeah, Darren Till, I don't agree with that. He'd have filled him in a week.
I mean, I've seen him been choked out and KO'd a few times, so I don't know how good he is. So I'm not having a go. But in the boxing ring, I thought I'd need at least a month in the gym. So I turned it down. And I should have probably took it, to be honest, because I think I needed a couple of rounds of shadow boxing to deal with Darren Till. He's not a fighter, he's not a boxer. He can stand there, he's got balance, he lines his jab up a bit, but honestly, it's a one-round job for the Cobra. It's not happening, I'm not fighting, this ain't a call.
But this shows you, man, as well, how dangerous it is. Especially in the times of misfits and whatnot, where these things can become reality. I wouldn't wish this for Carl, I really wouldn't. As much as you believe in yourself, Tyson, he probably got paid off here, but even so, once you get to a certain age, Mike was training like a demon for 6 months as well. But once you get to a certain age, you can, even if he was 30, and he did 4 weeks of training. Let's say you retired at 25, you were a top boxer, and at 30 you come back, or 35 you come back and do a month in the gym. I'll be very shocked. But what do I know? I'm just another bare bum in the shower who don't know nothing about boxing. So maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I'll be very shocked if that was. Look at Tyson Fury. He half trains. He ain't got no gas. Yes, it's a 12-round fight, but you get the point I'm making. Tyson Fury was actually training for that Usyk fight, and his wheels fell off. So Carl, the ego's obviously massive, which is good, but I hope we don't do something stupid. Like, yeah, I'm going to get in there for 2 weeks training, and I'm the Cobra, and it go left for him, right? At 50, you got to be... Look at Mike Tyson. Yeah, he's 60. He well over the hill, shot to bits, sniffed off his head for 20 years. But regardless of that, you can be, oh, I'm living a good life as such. Oh, I'm living healthy and all that rubbish. Healthy is good. It's better than being on the coke. But it don't mean you got any aerobic capacity. You know what I'm saying? That's what it doesn't do. Living healthy is better than being bulbous and smoking and drinking off the moody moonshine and putting the Kinahan up your nose. It still don't... When you're in there with a trained man who's got gas, I mean, listen, maybe Carl's going to roll the dice. I think Carl knows better than that, though. I do think he knows better than that. I think he'll come in prepared if he did do it. I'd back him. I'd back him to beat Till. I don't know. On a full camp, I'd back him to beat Tommy and Jake Paul. Darren Till, probably back him as well on a full camp. But none of this 4 weeks rubbish. 4 weeks is not enough time either. The last week you're faffing around, so forget about that. The first week you're going to be, even if you're coming off a 10-year retirement, 4 weeks you can't even get into a bit of a rhythm. Look at Dave Allen. Yes, he's not the class of Carl Froch, if that makes sense, but Dave Allen's been having 12-week camp and he still was right. He was goosed himself. He had a 12-week camp. And he wasn't out of the ring as long as Carl's been. So I think what the human brain does, you say to yourself, well, I was world champion. I was world champion 10 years ago, and therefore, a world champion from 10 years ago should only need to train 4 weeks now. It don't work like that. Cardio don't care about when you was world champion 10 years ago at all. Once you ain't been in the mix like that, and people say Carl stays fit. Is he sparring now, man? Hitting that bag is not the same. I can hit the bag 50 rounds. You do 2-3 rounds of sparring and you're blowing out your backside. You know what I'm saying? Who knows, though? Maybe, obviously, he's got the industry connects and that. He probably is in the mix. If he's in the mix, it's different. If he's going, I don't know, once a fortnight, once a week to get some work in with some bodies. But if he's hitting the bag, and the bag can get you gassed as well. That's what it can do. You're like, how can anyone take these shots? And you get in there and you blow in and you realise, wait a minute, it doesn't matter how hard your shots are on the bag. If your legs ain't working because you're goosed and you're 50 years old, or if you can't throw your arms because you're so knackered and you can barely keep your hands up, then it all falls away. Oh.
All out, don't know any idiots coming back saying, calling out Darren Till. I'm not. But listen, it's an easy job for the Cobra. Look at what I've done. Look at my resume. Even 10 years retired. That sort of thing would be easy. So maybe I shouldn't have turned it down. Who knows? Because it could have led to bigger things, couldn't it? Could have led to the old...
Go on, Carl. Get in there, bro. That's what I'd say. Listen, it's the Misfits era. Yeah? It's the Misfits era / the Bunsen Burner era. Get in there, man. Because Carl has done a lot of talking at this point. Yes, his career is bona fide. But if you're calling people out, man, like, this guy's no good, I'm world champion, get in there then and show us. Because that would be a representative of the 50-year-old Ians. The 50 years old Ians. Put on for the 50-year-old Ians. I can do it at 50. That would be, I'm sorry, but that would be, I guess to be fair, George Foreman did it at the actual top level. Became world champion at 48 or whatever. So it's not unparalleled to be done. And I think it'd be intriguing. It'd be, well, at least for us semi-hardcore boxing heads, I'd love to see it. Why not? Get Darren Till in there with Carl Froch. Better, I want Tommy. That's what I want. Because I'll put money on that as well. Carl Froch, with 4 weeks or not, he would walk through Tommy on principle. And fake the cake Paul. That's what I want to see. Fake the cake Paul, he ain't going to do it. Tommy probably ain't going to do it either. Who's got more balls, actually? I'm not sure. They're both fannies. Neither of them want Carl Froch. Neither of them would do it. So I guess that's what Carl should dedicate his life to calling out. Darren Till would take it for sure. I do think Darren Till will be a harder fight, though. I'm sorry. I do think he's not perfect, but I do think he's been in the game. Yeah, proper game. Whether it's boxing or not, he's been in a proper game. Fake Paul has never been in a proper game, man. Tommy Fury's never been in a proper game. Darren Till, I don't believe you're going to see Darren Till get hit with a shot and be like, just choking to death. I think you hit Jake Paul the right way, he'll choke. You hit Tommy Fury the right way, he'll choke. How do we know this? Jake Paul didn't want to stick it on 60-year-old Mike, he was shitting himself. Tommy didn't want to stick it on no one. KSI was tiny in that fight. And Tommy's like, KSI's jumping on his toes. And Tommy's like, you'd think Tommy would be in there giving him the yippo, giving him bare knuckle all over him. Didn't do anything in there. So they've shown me what they're about. They don't want to fight, ultimately. I've seen better white collar fights. Oops. How is that possible? How could you see a better white collar fight than these two pumped up social media stars? That should never be possible, right? How is it? I think your Joe Blogg's average white collar fight's better than a Tommy and Jake Paul fight. What's Jake Paul doing, man? What's he doing? He stunk the place out of Mike Tyson. Couldn't do nothing in there. Running around the place, scared to death to engage. How embarrassing. Oh, well, he was saving Mike. People, if Jake the fake cake Paul wanted to save Mike, he could have just took the piss out of him touching his body, right? Didn't have to take his head off. He could have showed levels by saying, listen, Mike, you're not on my level. I'm going to stand with you. I'm a rock and roll. I'm digging your body. There's no harm in that. You'd say, wow, he's got good prowess. Going in there with a 70-year-old man with a bum knee and backpedaling and just like literally boxing, looking like it was Landy Lara. It's embarrassing. It's proper embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed to do that. You should have given Mark the respect he deserved and showed him what time it was to the body. That's what you should have done. Instead, you're like, proper fake Paul was pure headhunting as well. He was like desperately like, oh, I need to keep him off because I'm scared to death to engage. That's what he was. He's no good. Tommy's no good. Tommy is no good either, man. But Tommy and Fake the Cake Paul, they're no good. No good at all. The Cobra would proper do them arm. That's probably what would happen. They won't get sanctioned. Because the Cobra will do them proper, serious, old school arm. Because they can't fight. And they can box a little bit. That's what they can do. They can't fight. Documented they can't fight. They can box and faff around a little bit. Yeah, and we saw it in their fight, Jake Paul and Tommy. What were they doing in there? Jake Paul look at the floor, bowl his hand over. Tommy's like, butt clenching. No good. Rubbish. Sorry.
The fake guy that people keep talking about. Well, there was an opportunity to fight Darren Till, then potentially Tommy Fury, and then who knows where it goes. But I'm a journalist now. I'm a Froch on fighting front runner. This is what it's all about. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see the Cobra back in the ring. This straight nose, get this dented. We don't want to know. My wife don't want to know. So I have to listen to what the wife says every now and again. But yeah, that's what I thought of that. I thought it was a shit show. And I think the officiating needs to be improved. And, you know, Darren Till, sling your up, mate. Not in this lifetime. And then...
So he said on Tommy, he said the fight was... Who was it again? The fight was supposed to be him versus Darren and then him versus Tommy, which is odd because you'd think Tommy was getting sued by DAZN for just pulling out of that fight with no cause. Either way, though, that's what Carl should do. Yeah, Carl needs to put it on Tommy. That's got... The Jake Paul problem is the fact that Carl doesn't have the global kind of phenomenon. But in the UK... Carl versus Tommy, you got the whole... Tommy's riding on the coattails of his brother, Tyson. And Carl's got his own 80,000 at Wembley clout. That'll work in the UK. That works. And Tommy might fancy his chances thinking, ooh, Carl Froch is relatively little. He's old. He ain't been in the ring 10 years. He might think, you know what, for the amount of money, it should be a good amount of money out of thought. It's a big fight. For me, Jake Paul and... In the UK at least, Jake Paul and Tommy is smaller than Tommy and Carl Froch. So that's what Carl should do. Carl should hone in on Tommy and say, I want you. Yeah, and I'm punching you all the way back to Instagram to do your moody eyebrow advertisements. That's what you end up. By the time I finish with your ass, you'll be advertising mascara for Maybelline. That's what you'll be doing full time because you ain't a boxer. That's what you're not. But yeah, Carl, man, listen. Get in there, man. Stick it on these guys. Because at the moment, or for the last little while, at school kind of like, yeah, I'd fill him in a week. I'd fill him in on 2 weeks' notice, but then there's nothing coming behind it. You can say, well, he's retired. But you don't have to say that, right? If you say you're going to fill someone in on a week's notice, yeah, send a contract. Pick the phone up. You've got the connects. Pick the phone up and tell. In fact, Turkey was talking about putting Carl Froch and Calzaghe on. Get Carl Froch. Get Turkey, yeah? Your best buddy now. Tommy versus... Carl Froch. Oops. That's what you do. And if you can't get Turkey, Misfits will do it, man. We know Tommy's desperate for coins. And I think there's enough perceived weakness in Carl, like I've mentioned. The age, the size, the lack of ring time in the last 10 years to entice Tommy in. That's what Carl needs to do. I'd love to watch that. That'd be a banging... I'd pay... To be honest, I don't pay for pay-per-views. But if I was going to... If someone said to me, YB, you pay a tenner, or I'd pay 20 quid. If I could pay 20 quid to make it happen, I would. I'd pay for it. I won't pay for it this time, but in principle, I'd pay for it. It's worth watching. I think Carl will be all over him. Like a rush. If he comes in fit. Now, if he comes in off 2 weeks' notice, in 8 rounds, anything can go left if you ain't got gas. It can be the hardest man since sliced bread. But if he comes in prepared... I think the odds as well would probably... Well, I'd be intrigued to see... It's all intriguing all around. I'd be intrigued to see the odds. If Carl was an underdog, I'm going big, man. If Carl's a heavy favourite, I wouldn't touch it. But if it's 50-50, or better for Carl, or better for the gamblers on Carl, I'll be going all over it, for sure. But stoppage or not, Tommy knows how to run. He knows how to run. And he's bigger. And he knows how to cling on. I do think it'd probably go distance, if I'm honest. I think Carl's older legs might not be able to get on him. like he thinks he might, because Tommy will be running like you've never seen before. He'll definitely lose though. I've got him losing on. I think Carl beat him on points, and it'll be Tommy just running a bit like, you know how the last 2 or 3 rounds was Beterbiev versus Bivol. That's what Carl versus Tommy Fury would look like for 8 rounds. Tommy would just be in there. We've seen, oh AB, you're hating on Tommy. We've seen him do that with KSI. I didn't see him throw one punch in that fight. 6-round fight, and they both just jumped on the spot like clowns. And that's with them both standing there. Imagine Carl's running into him. He's going to be cacking his pants. Whoop. You'll see him bouncing from rope to rope. He get punched up, seriously. So Carl, put it on this guy. Pick the phone up. Ring Mans Taylor. Ring Turkey. Bash, bash, and get this one on. Fill this guy in. Because someone needs to do it. It needs to be someone who's sneaky deaky with it. If that makes sense. Someone who... Tommy's not going to go in there with Artur Imad Beterbiev ever. So it needs to be someone where Tommy thinks, ooh, yeah? Put some fake media out there. Oh, both my knees are shot. Oh, my right hand's broken and shattered in 20,000 places. And Tommy would be like, you know what? Anyway, people, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people stop it.